Assumptions and presumptions of previous knowledge and foundational knowledge of your team members could result in wasted time, energy, and productivity. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to go to the beautiful island of Havelock in the Andaman Islands for a scuba adventure. I went on a small boat with two guides, my friend, and a young couple. All except myself and the young girl from the couple were experienced, certified divers. And we were given a short lesson on basic scuba before we boarded the boat and joined the others. We rowed out on a tiny boat in the middle of the ocean to experience the beauty of the live, vibrant corals and sea life. It was at this moment that the young girl confessed something that is kind of important if you want to successfully scuba. She didn't know how to swim. The instructor had made a few assumptions, and the young girl didn't speak up. And this brings me to an important aspect of building training programs for your team, especially if you want high performance. You need to assess the baseline for your training. First, assess the industry knowledge of your team members. You might have a team member that has 20 years of experience in finance, but has only worked in private companies and is not really familiar with the grants and funding of the public sector for your organization. You might have a person that has 20 years of finance in the energy industry, but is now learning terms like HCAP scores while working in the healthcare industry. You also might have someone that has been in the same industry for decades, and they believe that they already know the industry super well, and they probably do. But keep this in mind as they have a different baseline. But the practices are ever evolving in our quickly changing world. Also, assess your team members' organizational knowledge. Your team member might be an expert in the industry, but new to the organization and still learning the nuances and cultural dynamics of the team. So much of our training and learnings come from the history of our teams, of trying and failing in relationships and stories. Assess the longevity of the team members belonging to the team and their knowledge of the organization for clearer connection. Also, assess the team members' knowledge of the role and skill in doing the role. I was training a former stay-at-home mom that had recently returned to the workforce after 18 years of staying at home to raise her kids. She was incredibly bright and quick, but she hadn't a lot of experience or practice in navigating a computer in about 20 years. With this team member, I catered the training to first give an overview of the computer and how to navigate the system before we went into the specifics of the job. This training differed dramatically about a month later. I trained another new employee in the same job, but she came from several years in an admin role, and she knew her way around a computer very quickly. The training was different because the baselines were different. Sure, we could have thrown the young girl off the boat in a sink or swim situation. But I don't know if many organizations would want to take that risk with their employees. To best prepare our teams to perform at their highest level, we must adapt our training in consideration to the baseline knowledge of our team members so that we can better relate, we can better communicate, and we can better equip our teams for success. So, here's what I want you to do. When preparing your team for training, create a baseline by asking these questions. What is the assumed knowledge that everyone in your team already has? What knowledge gaps might inhibit the training? And what foundation can you lay for a better baseline to build upon for a more equipped, more understanding, and better prepared team to perform at a higher level?